Welcome to JotaonCode. Today we're going to talk in regards to Nextjs, which are our very first impressions in regards to this framework and creating a very basic page with the routing and some of the most basic operations that you can use with it. Let's go. Okay, we're going to start working with the Nextjs application, right? So let's see. Some of the things that we need to take a look is into the documentation. That's the very first step, right? So let's go for it. We get here. I would say Nextjs. We're going to create it with Nextjs. This Nextjs application is going to have the following things. It's going to have the three parts: users, schools, and catalog. Right? We're going to make like if the word tabs, you're going to click in one of them, and then it's going to show you some of the different values there, so on and so forth. Right? So we're going to do that to make it a little bit faster, or as fast as we can. So in Nextjs, it's going to be in the repo of Github JotaonCode, and let's see what these guys are offering here, right? And there we are. So I just created a very basic application there, and this is already providing all this HTML for you. So I would like to try out this. Npm Run dev. It's already running here. We open here 1000, and there we are. This is pretty nice. I like with things. So this guy is watching, is building, compiling, watching. Okay, here it is. Offer some information here. I'm going to remove all of this for the moment. Up to here. And it actually removed pretty fast everything, so that's super nice. I really like when things actually get updated like this so fast. Makes a very good developer experience, we can say, right? So what I'm going to create here, it's going to be library application, right? This library application is going to have, let's call it bibliothèque. So this bibliothèque is going to be able to, it's going to give some users certain books that they're going to be looking for, right? And we're going to find footer. Looks like this guy already has some styles here inside the home module CSS. Okay, so far so good. We have almost everything we need here. So these pages for these guys, it has like a special meaning at some point, right? When you work with these pages, they have something that they have something called dynamic routing, and you have some things that you can actually, accordingly to what you put inside of here, you're going to be able to access to these pages inside of the URL with the same structure. So basically, if you have right now you're getting into the index, but if you have something else, like saying about.js, we are going to get something like export default about page, something like this, and this one here. And here I will go here to about, and you see it is taking you there. It is taking you there just by having this inside of the pages here. This is pretty neat. It's very nice because many people is going to be needing this kind of functionality. And you also have something that you can append, like if you have, for example, users, and then you want to have a specific user contains an ID, you can put it in between brackets. Then and the URL will be like users/the ID, and that's going to give you a particular user. So that's pretty nice. But I recommend that you should go through all of the different things that you have here. Like for example, you have also a tutorial where you can try it out. The expectation in regards to this particular video is just to make the front end for an application that I want to create, and that's going to be working with between a certain cluster, right? So we're going to create this little bibliothèque application that's going to be inside of a cluster. So let's go for it. Let's try to new folder here. That's going to be users. A file that's going to be id.js. I'm going to have also another file which is going to be index.js. See, this is the explanation of what we should talk about it, right? Here you have the bracket notation that's going to take you there. Just my recommendation is always try to go to the documentation, official documentation, because sometimes things get updated, and this is just with the idea of getting a bit of a feeling of how it's going with this framework, right? So let's say that I get here users, I click it out, then you have here the users, which is actually great. So you're already being redirected here. Right, so here schools, we got something that we need to fetch information, right? So this framework already provides you with the mechanism to get information from some data fetching. Okay, these are some demos. So this is something very important from these guys, is that they actually separate the way that you can work with them by considering if you're going to be working with build time or server-side rendering. Basically what happens there is that it's a different moment in the creation of the application that you're going to be working with, and the way that you decide in regards to this is by considering which is your initial problem that you try to solve, right? So your problem should try to take you to the direction of deciding which tools you should use, and in regards to this particular case, they show a lot of flexibility, so you can actually decide which approach you want to take in regards to this one, right? In my particular case, what I'm going to get here, I could actually create some static generation, but I think I'm going to go for the server-side rendering in this moment. Although the recommended one is going to be the static props. So for the moment, you can see here that what happens here is that this is going to create the whole static content for you, and that's going to be faster for you to get it from a CDN, for example. But in this particular case, I don't want to create a static generation because I don't need that in this moment. Maybe for the catalog could be a good approach, for example. And that's a very good separation of concern. For example, if you have an application that some part of the system you're going to need to have some sort of SEO content and you want to get, and it's going to be easier for Google to fetch, then having this framework that allows you to choose this catalog to be more seeable by having this static content and faster to give and deliver to the client, that's going to be pretty neat. But on the other hand, for example, if I want to create schools or users and I don't want to expose this information by any meaning, and I just want to get some information and provide this inside of this small application, we can say single page application, because each one of these different small pages, they can be their own single page application if you wanted to, right? This particular case, that's going to give you the flexibility to choose in between one option or the other, right? But the schools and the users, I don't need them to be static, and I think that the catalog could be static, and this is the option that they provide to you for doing that. Super powerful and very friendly to. So get server-side props. So you see, in this case, he's using a fetch, and it's going to get the information you need. Click here, takes you to the school. Here takes you to the school. Okay, but you see what has happened here is that looks like the link needs to have one child, and it's considering that this is creating one child and this is another child. So yeah, that's it. We have the whole mock. I'm going to provide some more mocks there, which is going to just very small information in regards to the schools, the catalogs, and the users. That doesn't make any sense to actually make a video showing about mocks. I hope that you enjoyed the video of today, and if you did so, just click the like and subscribe to the channel. It was a very basic introduction in regards to Nextjs and dynamic routing, and a little bit in regards to static pages, generations, and server-side rendering. Have a good one.